These are actual mind control techniques that obviously are working quite well, right? Everyone's wearing these crazy things.
I came back.
Excuse me?
I totally agree with you.
You do?
Yes.
What are we going to do about it?
I'm a nurse.
You're a nurse?
You know what?
Yeah.
Water is heavier than air. If you wear a mask, you only breathe in your own stale air. And if somebody cough and spit, the droplets fall to the ground. The air is still here.
Yeah.
So this.
So why are they doing it? Do you know why they are doing? So
what
are they? Why are they doing this? Do you think?
It's a political tool. That's all that it is.
Yeah. Control. Thanks.
We're only doing it because we can't be here.
You can actually.
Really?
I never get bothered. The police are, guys, listen, they've already, I don't know if you've heard this in the news, but you can read it. Ticketmaster is now working towards having a vaccination verification program, and they're going to be doing this. Next thing you know, it'll be at the supermarkets, where if you don't have proof that you have a vaccine, you're not going to be shopping for food anymore. So either I think we nip this thing in the bud now, or we wait, and it's going to be too late. I mean, already it's too late, honestly, but I hear you.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good day. And Earth is flat, too. Here, you want information, guys? Real quick, let me give you a card. They lie about everything, and they hide the information now. I know, it sounds crazy, but take a look at that stuff when you get a chance. It's interesting. You're welcome. Thanks for chatting.
That is cool. Yeah. It's very cool. I think I'm going to get a selfie with this guy. So. All right, I'll let you go.
How you doing, man?
Unbelievably well. How are you?
Well, I could be better, man. I'm walking around amongst a million zombies, and it's quite depressing.
Is it crazy?
We're in trouble, dude.
People all buy into everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's a gentleman walking down the street down there by himself. There's probably no one within a mile of the guy, and he's got his mask on, and it's like there's no one here.
I know, man. It's beautiful out too, you know.
Isn't that beautiful?
Crazy. These are actual mind control techniques. They seem to be working, don't they?
Yeah, it looks like it.
It does.
Where are you posting at?
I'm on Zoom Truth is my YouTube channel, and I put it up, and YouTube just gave me a strike for being out here doing what I'm doing. Hate speech it is. It's called hate speech these days.
Contrary to what?
Yeah, what the Truth Ministry tells us. Yeah, the Ministry of Truth. Yeah. There's my
I'll say.
yeah.
I'll say.
We're in trouble.
I agree.
I don't know what's going to happen next, but it's not going to be good. Appreciate it. Too bad did you see the government at the bottom? You know the breakdown of the word government? Latin? Govern is to control, and ment is mind. This is like the Latin root of government. Yeah. Too bad I misplaced the words. When I printed, I didn't do a good editing job. Like a dummy, but whatever. Most people don't even read the stuff anyway. It's all good.
But it's got a red name though.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. And thanks for not wearing those insane muzzles.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Good for you. There's a lot of doctors out there saying that these masks are horrendously dangerous for you. Have tons of bacteria. Thank you, sir.
Trust the science, yeah. Wear a mask, don't wear a mask. Hey, how you doing?
It's scary. Ticketmaster, they just did an article. Ticketmaster is now going to require you having a vaccine certification or proof that you took the test 3 days prior to being allowed to buy any tickets from them.
Really?
Yeah, read the article, bro. It's freaking creepy.
I'm not taking that vaccine. Are you kidding me?
Well, what
I don't
happens?
take-
What
I don't even
happens?
take the flu shot.
What happens when your local grocery store tells you that you need that? Ooh,
Yeah,
it's like
that-
Mark of the Beast stuff, right?
Yeah, that's when we're going to see some rising up.
I don't think so, man. I think the people are too sheepified. And there's too few of us.
What? No, they're out there. There's 72 million at least. We know that.
I hope so. We'll see.
What? Yeah.
Yeah. I hope so. I hope you're right.
Did you see that on what's his name? Musk took 4 tests
Yeah.
this week. 2 came out positive. 2 came out negative.
Yeah. I mean, and yet nobody
He's a very
freaking
smart-
cares.
I
They
know.
say it's as high as 80% false. I don't even think it's real. I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just a flu.
Oh, yeah.
It's a hoax,
Yeah, it's a hoax.
a major hoax.
Yeah. It's mind control and it's for their agenda, right? Their sick freaking agenda of maybe depopulation. I don't know. If they get people to take this vaccine, who knows what they're going to do with the vaccine? I don't know.
All I know is I'm a homeless veteran and I need some help.
Are you really? Wow. That's not good. Nobody gives a shit, huh?
No.
No. Well, hang on one second, man. I'll help you out.
I'm not making it up. I can
Excuse
tell you
me?
my card.
What?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
God bless you.
Yeah, good luck, man.
Thank you.
These are actual mind control techniques that they seem to be working quite well on the public, I would say. No, you disagree that these are mind control techniques? Don't want to chat about it. Just call me names, right? We are so fortunate that this virus decides to take a break when we sit down and eat, aren't we? We can be thankful for that. Yes, you truly can be. Yes, let's be thankful that the virus takes a break while we sit down and eat. Yeah. What a wonderful virus, right?
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, you know,
Sad.
it's very sad.
Yeah.
All of my relatives, all of the people where I used to live, they're in this draconian thing that they've been in since the get-go. They're plugged into CNN,
Yeah.
they're plugged into whatever.
I was not too long ago.
And it's only because I had severe health issues and severe trauma, and I've been under a lot of stress taking care of my mom for 5
Okay.
years because I gave up my life in California to come here.
Yeah.
And I gave up this perfect, you know, and there's been,
The quote perfect world,
yeah,
right?
And now I wouldn't want to be there. For one thing, I lived this magical life. I was on a 30-day lease off the coast of California in Big Sur for 27 years. That was after losing a federal job because of I had too many medical issues. And I thought, great, you say you care about me, but you take my job away. Now what do? Well, I found this job that hired anybody. You know, they hired meth addicts, and then I found this. I mean, it was just divine providence, really. In retrospect, I didn't know that at the time.
Right.
But while I was taking care of my mom 2 years ago, that 250,000 slide that I was living on came down, closed Highway 1 for a year and a half. The point house I lived in went down into the sea.
Oh my gosh, wow.
So, and before that, it burned up. So,
Wow.
I mean, you know, it's like there's no going back.
Yeah.
But meantime, because of all these health issues and the stress,
Yep.
I had learned to surf when I was in Big Sur. Even though I lost my job and I was supposedly going to be a paraplegic if I didn't do the surgery, my gut was like, I'm not doing a surgery. I can still do a back pain. What do you tell me? I got all these things. And I've been on osteoporosis medicines, on antidepressants for a lifetime. Not the osteoporosis,
Okay.
antidepressants for a
Yep.
lifetime.
I'm listening.
It just messed me up.
Yep.
But I didn't know that. I was so unconscious, so in
Yeah.
my program mind. But
Have you,
thank
have
God
you
I
be-
went off the grid and I knew enough that if 1% of the world owns everything, they own the media. So I knew that in the early 90s. I got rid of my TV then.
Yeah.
I haven't been programmed by the TV
Yes.
since the early 90s, and that's
Yes.
made all the difference.
Yes.
And when I came here, my mom was totally into the CNN, and I would just say, Mom, if you want me to help you, the TV has to be off.
Yep.
And in the beginning, she was like doing the matriarch thing where, no, you have to be informed. And I said, Mom, it's programming. And everyone thought I was a lunatic. They still do. But she loved me so much and cared for me and my compassion for her that she would turn the TV off. So I'd come in the room, she'd turn the TV off. And she didn't get me. Nobody in my family gets me. My brother is Harvard. My sister went to Harvard. She's got all these degrees. My brother went to Dartmouth, Yale, all these degrees. And it broke my heart when this whole thing came down, because we buried my mom February. She died very, very peacefully at almost 100 with me. It was incredibly beautiful. We were so liberated. And then because she was buried in Arlington next to my dad, you have to wait for them to tell you. So it was a couple months, which didn't take as long as for my dad. It took 7 months because he had the full regalia. But anyway, so I'm there with all the family, finally. They never came down. They never came down when she was alive. But they're there for this.
When you're dead, right.
When this funeral.
That's how the world is, backwards.
That's when all this hoopla started happening at the end of February.
Yeah.
And I had learned to be gracious with my mother. I'd learned to show up like a happy puppy and not be so
confrontational.
Confrontational.
Yeah.
Exactly. And not.
I'm not good at that yet.
I'm not very good either.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm probably exceeding boundaries, but I feel like I'm safe to talk to you. So because there isn't anybody that I talk to because of this whole charade, and they believe it. They believe it. And it was so obvious to me at the very beginning. So the only thing I did say to my brother, because he was glued to the CNN, I said, wow, you are addicted to CNN. And he looked at me with this like deer in the headlights look.
Yeah.
He didn't know what I was talking about. And he still doesn't.
Yeah.
And yet, guess what's happening now? They're not even communicating with me. I do communicate with them. I went surfing yesterday morning.
Cool.
After the storm.
Yeah.
I was blissed out to the max.
Surfing. Yeah. Okay.
And this after being told, you know, you're going to lose your leg, you know, because I had 6 surgeries in the space of a year 6 years ago. And the osteoporosis was so bad that my bones.
Have you looked into like food and for your health now and all that?
Look at me now.
Yeah, that's what I'm imagining.
That's what happened.
Yeah,
When my mom got so
I knew it was a tough
frail,
question.
I couldn't lift her up anymore.
Yeah.
I had to put her in a nursing home. That was 2 years ago.
Yep.
But it gave me the freedom, because they didn't welcome me feeding her, preparing her. She
Oh,
wanted me
wow.
in her mind, at almost 100, that was my house.
Yeah.
Her room, her nursing home room. It's our home.
Yep.
But I wasn't, you know, I was there as an advocate, but really I was kind of powerless, because they would do what they're going to do.
Why do you wear the mask?
Well, because I tried to walk in here and the guy said, you have to have a mask on.
Somebody said that?
Yeah.
Really?
He was handing them out.
Bother. Oh. You know what? It's more mind control stuff.
It
Because
is.
you don't legally, even legally to this day, because this state right now, I mean, who knows if it's going to change, but because they deemed it that it's like they have this conflict because they made it statewide, you don't have to, but then like on the local level, they can choose, and so there's this friction, I think, that's taking place.
Yeah.
So it's up to you how much you want to deal with it too. You know, like you said, you end up having issues, right?
People get irritated.
Yes.
They get confrontated, and I just trying to stay out of the polarities.
But the only thing I think is that, I'm sorry to interrupt
but
you
I
on your
want
other
to
story.
be authentic, and I think that's just what the world is learning.
Yeah.
Enough with the charade. Enough with the fear. You know, enough.
But I don't think very many people are
why
learning.
acquiesce and lay down to all this garbage when
Yeah.
you know it's not right?
Yeah. So back to your mom. So that was a big. That was your.
That's what happened. I had been in pain for a lifetime. I'm almost 70. I'd been in pain.
Wow.
Pain.
Oh.
And I'd been told I needed a new knee, and,
Yep.
you know, in the 90s. But I always resisted it, but I didn't even know why. It was like the reason that I didn't was when I was living in Big Sur. It was like a haul to go to town. So that's kind of what happened, which is a blessing. And I just realized how nurturing, how wonderful I felt in nature. I was in the total darkness at night. There was no sign of humans.
Wow.
And the thing is I got terrified when I was a child, when my parents took me to Auschwitz on a tour when I was only 5 years old.
Yeah.
And it traumatized me.
Yeah.
And then there were other things. Reading.
Have
the
you further?
Bury My Heart
Wait. Let's back up. Now
Okay.
that you've touched on my favorite subject, the gas chambers. Have you looked into that beyond what your current
They got. If you really dig deep,
Yeah.
they've got these camps all set up
Yeah.
already.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm going to the point where there's a place called Holocaust Deprogramming course. The gas chambers are another charade. They are a complete 100% lie. Oh yeah. Here, I'm going to give you a great. If my channel is Zoom Truth. I don't know if you ever use YouTube or not.
Well,
but
I
you
didn't
might not
own a
have
computer
You
until
don't.
a few years ago, but now it's the only way to be.
Yeah.
And it was my healing experience and that's when I knew the truth even more, because I was following these really helpful practitioners,
Yeah.
and I see the Wikipedia being changed in front of my eye. I
Yeah.
see them being deleted, and yet they're speaking the truth.
Well, I know. Well, what's so cool is that I can actually verbalize with you about, like your current belief is that, oh yeah, it was trauma, it's horrible, and of course, if it's real, it was a
We're all
horrible
walking
event.
traumas.
But if I bring that up to 99% of the people that my belief is that it was a lie, most people trip out and will almost physically attack me over it,
That
right?
happened to a
Because-
friend that called me yesterday from California.
Yeah.
She said, I don't understand why all these people voted for Trump. And I said, well, there's a lot of corruption. And I said, you watch TV so much. He goes, do not tell me what I do. And I was like, oh God, this lady loves me. She said,
Yeah.
And
My
I
sister,
just
I get the
realized,
same
oh my
reaction.
God. And the same thing when at the very beginning, after I got back to Florida from Arlington, I tried to share some of this information, just for example, the whole charade that went through in October where it was the pandemic, they went through it. I got no response from them. And if I did, they just were, it's just like they treated Trump
It's
at the end of
amazing.
July.
Yeah.
All he did was tweet that, there was 181,000 deaths. And by the way, only 6,000 of those were COVID deaths, and the whole COVID, now, that's a whole other story.
Right,
the label.
yeah.
But these corporate, they just deleted him. And all he was doing was reporting the CDC's facts.
Yeah.
That's it. And then the CNN the same day says that's a conspiracy theory. The New York Times is like, the fact checkers proved it wrong.
Fact checkers. I love fact checkers.
It's such
right?
a joke.
You have to have somebody tell you
here
what the
are all
facts
my
are.
degreed siblings and
Yeah.
all my cousins and all my relatives.
Pretty much the most programmed, the higher up you get on the indoctrination.
Well, look where they're doing all these studies to program people
Yeah.
to take the vaccines.
Exactly.
At Yale.
Yeah.
They're spending
They're all part of it.
all taxpayer
Yeah.
money, by the way.
Yeah.
So.
The shape of the earth. You are going to love this.
I
What
just
is your
really
current
need to-
belief that you live? You currently believe you live on a spinning ball that holds water and sticking to it, right? You believe that?
Yeah. Well,
Why do you think you believe that?
Because I was told that.
Right. We were told that, and yet everything about our
Oh,
experience.
you think the Earth is flat?
I think I more than think it. Yeah. It's a lot more than just.
Well, I just think we're multidimensional. It's all an illusion.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Well, whatever it is, I mean, the reality of it is that I don't sense any motion. They say we're spinning 1,000 miles an hour at the equator. They say we're circling the sun at 66,000 miles an hour. They say we're traveling with the sun at 500,000 miles an hour, and the universe is expanding at like 2 million miles an hour. And yet you can go to that nice peaceful lake that looks like a mirror because water is always flat and level, right? The nature of water is always defined as it's level. It needs to be contained. And yet they tell us we live on a ball that's 70% water. How the heck do you get? I really hope you look into it, because when you really realize that we're not on a ball, your entire world is like much more magical, I think, and you understand things just intuitively better. It's like very strange.
I just know that in the 2 years that I got off of all pharmaceuticals, all processed foods, I pretty much just eat organic and non-GMO.
I need to move in your direction.
And that all of the pain that I suffered for a lifetime
Inflammation.
disappeared because of the inflammation gone down. And it just disappeared within months. How is that even possible? Because we are designed.
Yeah. Can you
we are
imagine all the
regenerative
poisons that you were
beings.
putting in that they were prescribing to you
And
to
then you add
hide
on
all the
top
other?
of the conditioning where you believe that you're less than and you're worthless and you're a victim and you're no good and humans are the scum and whatever, then that's all subconscious too. So of course when you get these toxins in your body, they absorb in. You don't flush them out because your whole system is built to, conditioned to bring you down. So the fact that I'm even alive,
I am
is
like
a
so
miracle.
weak. I need to get back because honestly, I had fasted. I've been doing water fasting. I was eating properly, all vegan, I was even leaning towards raw, and I was like 80 pounds lighter than I am
Well, in
right
a way, you're fasting when you're doing that. Because
Yeah.
you do, people would always say to me the last year, where do you get your protein?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's complicated. I don't even know. But I just know I feel better.
now. You need to eat enough, I think, when you're on a...
But the beauty is that I've always been, ever since I was in grade school, junior high, I distributed the weight voluptuously, as I used to say. Or, it was well balanced.
Yeah.
But I was obese. I haven't weighed less than 155 or 165.
Now you have perfect
And now I'm
weight.
125.
Yeah.
And I didn't even try to go on a
Yeah.
diet. I just tried to get healthy.
you don't need a diet.
And it vanished. Just vanished. And then this whole thing of like, well, you won't ever be walking and you definitely won't be surfing again. That's a lie. Because,
That's amazing.
I had all these fixators and my everything, like
I have from my poor diet, see the psoriasis?
I used
Which
to have
is-
psoriasis all over my body.
And it went away when I eat right. I'm so late, like it's so bad. All right, you're inspiring me.
Well,
now.
it's addictive.
I gotta start taking care of it.
When I was at death's door 5 or 6 years ago, and I realized I can't even follow what the insurance provided therapy says to do.
Yeah.
They kind of got you're not taking enough meds to get out of the pain. How are you going to move?
Ugh.
And then my brothers emailing me, don't get addicted and all this stuff. And I was like, good. So I just was in a dire strait, and I could see that, and my brain was so jambled up from being on all the antibiotics and drugs that I couldn't follow his directions. And he would show up for like 5 or 10 minutes and then be gone, and then show up again, and I wouldn't have done this stuff. So I hired a personal trainer. The first thing she said to me was, have you thought about what you eat? And she goes, just try an elimination diet. I couldn't do it. That's why it wasn't until 2 years ago when I got some of the stress out of my life.
Yeah.
Because I grew up eating Wiener Schnitzel and, I just couldn't imagine
And well,
life
the
without
animal
cheese
treatment
or
it bothers
animals.
me the most. And,
Well, yeah.
And I need to, but I mean, I should spur me on better. But my own health though too. I mean, you look great. So
I'm amazed at my own body because I just had bought in. I don't have many years left on this
and
planet.
the quality of life wasn't going to be good
it's
either,
like
right?
What's that movie?
And so your body has basically healed itself.
It has, because
so
I
you were
removed the
You
blocks.
were in more pain like 30 years ago than you are today.
Absolutely. There's no pain.
There's no pain. Wow.
And even yesterday, I'm on the board paddling out, and I got outside, and I laid on the leash somehow, and it felt like I broke a rib, and I went, oh, this can't be happening.
Yeah.
Ow, I can't move. And I just powered kind of through that.
Yeah.
For one reason, if I needed to get back in, I needed to not, and it went away, and then that night I've gotten real spiritual in a lot of ways, real metaphysical. So I do a lot of shamanic breath work because I feel like, or Wim Hof. Have you ever heard of him?
Yeah.
The cold, befriending the cold, because that good kind of stress, hormesis, is what we need, because that builds the mitochondria. But anyway, so I'm surfing, and I had a great day.
Yep.
Then at night, I was laying there and I thought, oh, my rib is broken. Ow, this is going to take a while.
Yeah.
But then I thought, maybe not. And I thought, well, where is the pain exactly? And I found the exact pinpoint where it just killed me.
Yeah.
And I went to this map that I had got at one of these breathwork retreats that had supposedly been channeled by this dead guy or whatever, but it was so spot on. And it was just like, it was in the zone where the right side is like the masculine and the left side is female. But this is like about receiving, and this is about giving. and expressing. And that point was about fear of expressing my true self, and it's what I'm doing right now. But 99.9% of the time, I feel like I've been shut up.
Yeah.
And like, well, that's what we are being done. But I just thought, wow. And then that pain went away. So I mean, it's just like it doesn't even follow any logic anymore. Nothing does.
Yeah.
But that's
the mind
the beauty
or whatever
of it.
the body. It might not even be the mind anymore too. Who knows what the brain is, right? Is it just a receptor? I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
You know.
I just
They
know
told
that
us and
to me, it's all about the
swallow it.
multi-dimensional heart. I literally hug trees, go barefoot.
Nice.
Ground myself because I realized only this
Forest,
year that I'm
you know,
forest bathing.
For rest.
For rest, right.
For rest, yeah.
So I mean, I just
Isn't that cool?
think those are my priorities, is because all this fear is out there and all this draw into the polarities is out there. So to me, to be grounded is, and I really believe Mother Earth is real. So that's, I don't know, that doesn't probably jive in with your beliefs, but I
don't know. I mean, I don't know. You know, it's more complex than I think I don't think I'm gonna, you know, get the whole thing. But the idea that we're on a spinning ball, just ditch that one, man. That one's just ridiculous. When you finally think about it and you look at, just pay attention to water. Just pay attention to the nature of water, and it's pretty cool. Like, you know, that, and then all the trauma stuff. But you're beyond that. Like, you know, the fake, the shootings. They're all fake. Everything is manufactured lies that are TV shows. They're not real. I'm telling you. I bet my life.
Well, you know,
I mean,
that was the other thing. Is like I said,
all.
I stopped watching the mainstream media in the
Yeah.
early '90s, and I was well into living the Big Sur life when 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
But I happened to be on the East Coast taking care of my parents. I was helping them move from.
9/11 was a TV show.
And I saw that on the television,
Yeah.
and then I went home to Big Sur, and I watched these documentaries, and I realized, what? It's just all fake. It's all fake.
Yeah.
But there again, didn't get through to any of my relatives at all.
It's
that's when I became labeled.
yeah.
as the
Well, I can
nutcase.
see what's really cool is like I can throw out these insane ideas to you, right? And because like you really haven't, I don't think you're really exposed to them. That I'm like the idea
No,
that these things are fake.
if I did hear about the flat Earth 2 weeks ago, I would have thought ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But now I'm talking to a person.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when we come from our hearts,
Yeah.
it's about inclusivity. That you are a mirror to me, that you have a beating heart like mine, and we are communicating, and we need to be in reverence and respect of each other, period.
Yeah.
And therefore, and plus, I realize I don't know anything, really.
Yeah.
I don't ultimately know anything. I've been programmed. So be open to other opinions.
Yeah, yeah. And it allows you to have a conversation with somebody and actually learn something or change.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, I'm not losing that with myself because I feel so sure that the Earth is flat. But you know what I mean. Like I have to be open, like you said. Like could be is it a simulation? You know what I mean, and all these other things. So you know, it's always a battle, I guess, to keep it open-minded at some level. But
well,
it's very rewarding.
I also think that every thought matters.
Every what?
Every thought.
Okay.
The thought, emotion, everything.
I think I agree.
I just have to be more of a witness to everything, like get the larger perspective and see that it's my emotional and brain and body experience that are thinking they have control when they don't. Yeah. And then that provokes fear. I don't know, but I just know that I'm at peace when I feel the cosmos and Mother Earth and that connection somehow. And I don't know exactly what it is.
That's cool. You're making me want to be a little bit more. I need to start getting out a little bit more and getting away from. I'm stuck.
Well, I
in,
think the
this
breathing and the grounding and being totally authentic with yourself is huge, and the heart. Above all, I think it's about bringing, because I went to this place called Rhythmia. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it was miraculous. I did there a vacation there.
Yep.
While I was taking care of my mom. You know, I took a vacation every year, and this was 7 days, and I did plant medicine, and it was also and it was when there was red tide.
What'd you do? What?
Plant medicine.
Plant medicine. Okay.
I did ayahuasca.
Oh, okay.
And,
I didn't know what you were referring to. Yeah.
But also,
wow, you went down the rabbit hole there, huh?
Place,
yeah,
the whole place, just, you know, it was organic food, it was yoga, it was all these things. And at the end of 7 days, I didn't want to leave, and it was just so precious, and it was so miraculous. So I thought, but they had shown us this breath work, and I thought, well, when I first did it, I thought, this is glorified hyperventilation. I don't think so, because that's just pretty much, I grew up cynical about everything, and I always had an opinion that was negative about myself and about others. But then I realized it really opened me up, and during the ceremony, which was shared with 80 people, 4 nights consecutively under a full moon, I mean, it was just so powerful, and I felt like I even failed at that because I didn't have all these wonderful, vivid dreams, and I didn't remember anything. But everybody that surrounded me was so in love with me, and they said, "Oh, it was so brilliant being next to you. You were just, you know," they were telling me all these colors. And then when the guy was that started the resort, he was explaining the different types of trips or whatever, and the nada experience is when nothing happens, and that's what happened. You're supposed to. It's a purgative, so you throw up and then you go into these trips. Well, I did throw up, but then I didn't remember anything else. I just disappeared and never went up for the next one. So
that's deep.
Anyway, I'll let you
Now
go.
they're locking down everyone again.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
My son is San Francisco. The government don't want him to leave.
Do you what is your opinion on the whole matter? Do you think that it's real?
It's not real. I don't know.
Are you wearing that mask?
Yeah, well, I mean, otherwise people get mad at you. What can you do? I live in this building.
Well, I don't ever wear a mask anywhere I go, and you know.
The thing is that they scare people.
I hear
And
you.
The whole thing.
But
In San Francisco, my son is San Francisco.
Yeah.
He said that he has to ask permission from his office and the government. They have to have approval.
Oh, absolutely.
So he can see me.
They're-
The
How about
thing is
when
that
they're mandating vaccines to even go to school in some of those
Yeah,
places?
they're so
It's more
afraid.
draconian there
my
than
friend
ever.
just left New Jersey because of the whole vaccine mandate, where they're trying to get the kids. They can't come to school now without
Yeah,
particular
and they take them
vaccines.
from your parents.
But the reason why I'm just
thing
saying
is they
that is
force you-
by us wearing the mask, though, we help make the other people who are wearing it feel even more comfortable wearing them, because they see other. I'm telling you, I bump into so many people who say they're wearing the mask either just because they feel bad for other people,
Yeah.
or because they're a little nervous that they're going to get in trouble if they don't wear it. So that's if
more-
that's 20-30% of the people out there, that would be helpful if we didn't have that occurring, because it just
Yeah.
reinforces, I think, the
Yeah,
people
if
who
I
are
go
wearing
there
it.
and
reinforces
my-
acquiescing to the power
Yeah.
of, and because
it's too controlling now.
people say
Yes.
conspiracy theory.
Now
it's
Biden
not.
said he's going to have all the government to
National,
mandate
yeah,
everything.
national. They want to close.
National.
Well, no, they're talking now also
And-
about a total shutdown for 4 to 6
And
weeks.
in San Francisco,
already happening in
all
London
the
right
business
now.
in San Francisco are complaining. Is that you have to plead. It's Christmas time. People have no business. We hate to let these people work. Go.
Yeah, well, they're going to crush the middle class down to where the middle class
And do you think this
must. They're
do you
going to
think this
need
politics will
the
have a
government
problem?
to.
They have the salary. They have their big houses.
Yeah, no, they don't have a problem with it. So.
Anyway, thank you for the card. and
Thank you. Yeah, it was a
for,
nice chat. And-
Because what's lacking in my life is I feel like now that I'm a lone wolf, so to speak, it's important for me to be truthful and start expanding my sphere and connecting to tribe.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a family in a tribe now. But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean I can't. And then what happens today, I didn't have any plan of what I was doing.
Yeah.
I just knew that I needed, and grocery shopping has been like a real nuisance.
Yeah.
But I thought, you know what, I'm going to treat myself and get some of those Jerusalem artichokes, these earth apples, and they have them at Whole Foods. It's the only, and I'm not big on Whole Foods, but at least they have these organic things sometimes.
Yeah.
So I called and they had them. So I came down, and then I went, oh, a farmer's market. And the only farmer's market I'd been to was somewhere where it wasn't even a farmer's market. It was just shoes and, chemicals. I mean, it was art. There was no.
Right.
And I thought, wow, this is the real deal. I just bought some turmeric and
Even here, like the
ginger.
farmers, I don't think are quite coming so much to this particular location. Like, it's mostly like little restaurant places and
Yeah.
selling like
Well,
tickets
yeah,
and
that's
things.
just the way the earth has become now in the society. But anyway, I just see
You're
now
ruining
that
the
I'm
well, you probably like the sun.
that I'm
It's
that I'm.
warming me up.
I feel like I don't know what's going on, but I'm receiving guidance that is because there's so much serendipity going on in my life where I just have
Yeah.
a thought that I need to connect more.
I noticed
I
more
had
of
that this
too.
morning, and
Yeah.
look, I'm connecting. I just had that thought.
Yeah.
And because it's like I Thursday morning was proof positive that my health is back. I don't need to be thinking I'm frail and 70 years old and going to fall apart. It's like the Curious Cage of Benjamin, whatever. Remember that movie?
Yeah, where he reverse
Because
ages, yes.
I just look at my body for the evidence, and it's like, I don't even believe it. I can't even believe it.
That's such a great testimony to give people to see. You know, I just wish YouTube
Yeah, I
hides my
sent
channel.
somebody a picture.
And like, so you don't even get to get this information out anymore. They don't want people to be not in pain. They want people in
absolutely.
pain.
They want people to suffer.
be miserable.
They want
Yes.
people to be angry
Yes.
and attacking
And ignorant.
and ignorant.
Oh, it's like so evil, this place. It's freaking evil. I'm sorry,
Well,
it really is.
It's everything.
There's
though.
there's an evil
I
in
really
control.
think it's more
I think.
like Star Trek, where it's light against dark, and light's going to prevail because it's that's where the heart is.
Well,
These
light
people
will prevail
don't have
for
a
sure,
heart.
right? Yeah. But maybe not in this realm.
Maybe who knows? Who knows?
Although, I mean, you were kind of already prevailing right now, even though on an individual basis, like here you are and you're in better mental health than you've ever been in your life, and yet you're completely divorced from all your family, right? Because they don't.
Well, I'm not completely divorced. I still love on them,
Yeah.
kind of like
Okay.
my mom had all these. She just thought I was a lunatic, But when I was caring for her, she didn't think about anymore about the judgments that she had, because she needed help and I was helping her. So then our relationship came heart to heart more, because she may have said one thing, like she couldn't even see at the end. She was like, "Oh, your hair's on the," and I'm saying, you can't even see, and you're still
tough.
programmed on, you don't look right. What are you wearing? It was just like, but I stopped listening to her with like she had validity, and I stopped answering back. But I stood my ground, and I just said, okay, I'm here today, but if you want me to go away, I will. And then she would say, oh, it's like you go into this second childhood when you're about to die. She was so terrified of death, and I could actually assuage that terror.
She was.
with my
She
presence.
wasn't. She didn't believe in a God, or she
Well,
was
that's
an
the funny
atheist?
part. That's the funny part. My brother married, he became Assembly of God, real fundamentalist Christian, and we were brought up Christian. So I always thought that she did, because she promoted that. But there was one time, before things got really bad, the last time my brother and his wife came down, which was like about 5 years ago, it was a party or something. And,
It was a what?
they made a party out of their visit. And so...
Hey guys.
So they left, and his wife had done all this, repeating, the Christ is with you, and all this stuff. It's kind of ceremonial almost. And my mom was lapping it up, I thought. And they left, and she goes, "You know what? I don't really believe any of that stuff." Floored me. But it left her in this void, because then all of a sudden she thought, I don't believe this, and I'm going to be punished because I don't believe. That's
Yeah.
where she was at.
Yeah.
She goes, because she
Yeah, there's some
learned to be
weird-
authentic and honest with me,
Yeah.
and so she actually
That's very, very cool.
revealed that she didn't believe it, but she shamed herself for not
One of
believing
the things too with that I thought was really interesting. So I was 45 when I learned that I didn't live on a spinning ball, and I truly believe that's the case. But when it totally changed my perspective, I'd already heard of simulation theory, where I was like, okay, because I used to be an atheist. Like I considered, like, Big Bang is real. Scientists got it all patented out. They figured it all out. We're nothing but just an organism living on a speck of dust flying through space, and when it all ends, it ends, and back to blackness, right? So I lived like that way, and I used to say I wasn't scared to death, but I think in actuality it was too depressing for me, the idea that you're dead and that's that, and it's over. And when I learned about the Earth being like flat, it's like, okay, well, right away now this place was created instantaneously, right? It's not, you don't have a Big Bang with a big flat surface. That doesn't work, and that has happened to so many people. So it's just interesting how, and there's a lot of Christians out there, because I consider myself born again, and I was reading the Bible. I'd never read the Bible, and whether or not that applies to other religions in other areas have maybe the same ideas or not, I don't know. I haven't read all the texts, but there were so many people who, when they learned about flat Earth, they were like immediately, like, they changed from being a non-believer that this place was created to instantaneously be like, whoa, this place is created. And your perspective on everything becomes so much better, I think. Like, because it's just sad to hear, your mom, at the end of her life,
Well, I think I helped her a lot. I think she was, that's the beauty of it, as I think she really was at peace. Because I told her at the time, Mom, Jesus was a real person. He's real. He's in my belief, he's on the same level as many of these enlightened beings. It's not like only Jesus is the only way. That's not what I believe.
Okay.
But I definitely worship him as much as I worship any enlightened being that knows true love. Because if you look at the common denominator of world's religions, the good parts, it's love and respect, and you don't kill someone, and the golden rule, and they all have that, all of those religions, and
I just feel like they take
different
it
ways
away.
of going.
The religions, though, have taken it away. Like,
No, it's
the original
it's an
Matthew,
institution.
the Matthew version of the Bible, that one, William Tyndale he wrote the beginning, I guess the New Testament, and then this guy followed
You're in the
up,
sun again.
and he did the old. Thanks, I appreciate it. It just gets warm. But in it, he actually talks about in Samuel 2:11:11. The original translation was on this flat earth, right? That was their original, and they have taken that away. And I tell people, there's so many people in Flat Earth now who have talked to other Christian people, and they try to show. I have like 100 verses down there in the Bible that talks about stationary and immovable. Well, how does that work on a spinning ball, right? It doesn't really support that. And there's a bunch more that support that the Earth isn't flat. And it's just like, to me, it's like kind of sad, because I think that by them twisting the words around and making you live on think about it, you live on a ball. What is up, right? There's no such thing as up on a ball. There's no such thing really in reality. My up to the people on the opposite side of the world is their down. Or you know what I mean? Did I say that right? Yeah. Is their down? Or is their up actually? My up is their down. Yeah, that's right. So it leaves you. What do they call that when you relativism? It's relativistic, and I think it leaves you freaking confused. I guess I don't know. I don't know. They just do so many things to ruin us. But it sounds like you have escaped.
Well,
successfully.
I try every minute to bring it down into my heart, that's what the miracle for me of the experience with Mother Ayahuasca was, to breathe through my heart, not have the mind, because we're taught that the mind is the master and does everything, and the brain is just. We're even taught that consciousness comes from the brain. It's just not true.
Yeah.
It's an energy. I think the transformation we're going into is the realization that it's all energy. Everything about us is energy, and this all quantum theory and all that. It's a giant mystery right now. But I'm just always willing to embrace the infinite and the love and the truth. Even if I don't even know what it is, it's like beyond, because that's another thing out of the Bible, the peace that passes all understanding. The peace that passes all understanding. That's the divine. That's the divine. That's the love.
That's what it is.
And that's what it is. And that's where I want to be all the time. I don't want to be in my conditioned mind of judgment and attachment and.
I think I'm still stuck in that right now. It's really depressing.
Well, it's because of you got to stand up for your rights, because it's being, so you have to kind of you get righteous about it.
Yep. I'm sorry. I'm just boiling in the sun.
It's been a delight to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm David.
David?
Yeah.
My name's Allie.
Allie, so nice to meet you.
That's the little surface.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Even though I'll never be going back to California at this point, I don't think.
Get some crazy waves out there. Florida's probably not, or especially the West Coast.
Oh no, that's what's so magical.
Yeah, when you get the
it takes a hurricane or a storm to act, and then it's very brief.
Yes.
Like if I hadn't gone out at dawn, it already. I hung out. I was so on endorphins and everything, and I stayed until noon, but it would already kind of vanished.
Sure.
And it was all closed. The jetty was, where the Gulf Coast is. You got to go to the East Coast, and I just thought, I'm not from here. I don't know. It's crowded. I'm not going to drive 3 hours to go surf with a bunch of people when I just gave up on surfing. And then what does the universe present?
Yeah.
This delicious surf that kindled my heart again.
Makes me want to buy a board. I've never surfed.
Well, I didn't use a surfboard because I don't have one now, but it's I just used a sponge board and fins.
Cool.
But you know, that's the advantage of that is you're still catching a wave.
Yep.
And I could kind of go in stealth mode around, you know, and you can go over. You can do a lot of things that won't hurt you as much as a board bashing.
Oh, right. Yeah, the
Go
boards
over
are
the falls and
quite a bit
it's
to hold on to.
So, anyway, but well, David, it's a
Thanks,
treat.
Allie. Yeah, hopefully I'll see you again out here.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice chatting.
Nice to chat with you. Thank you so much for standing up,
Oh, cool. Thank you. I
sharing
appreciate
the
it.
world.
Yeah, thanks for speaking with me too, because I think you get this to the right person who's ready, and they'll hear what you're saying and getting themselves out of pain and fixing and they'll give them hope.
Yeah.
So, very cool.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how it'll manifest and how I'm going to make a living, but I know it's not going to be doing what I've done before.
Yeah.
And it can be in abundant times. It doesn't have to be lockdown, and I'm just not going to go there at all possible. Resist to my last dying breath.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at now, I think. Yeah.
And yet, in that resistance, I'd want it to give into love.
Yeah.
Above all.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like
Trust.
it's almost like
It's
a
very
conflict.
difficult to trust, and that's what the heart's about. It's very difficult to trust when you feel like you're being killed and murdered.
Yeah.
And you're like,
and when you try to spread the word, you get hated on.
Yeah.
Pretty much for it.
Yeah.
So that's difficult too. The whole thing is tough. But you know, it's a lot more interesting than my prior life of chasing after dollar bills and possessions and all the other BS that I fell for. So it's cool. Yeah. Interesting world.
all righty.
Thanks.
Ciao.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
So,
Hey guys. These are actual mind control techniques. You think they've worked on you maybe? Seriously, guys, seriously. These are for real. Repetition, isolation, right? They isolate us.
Two people from a friend of mine have died personally, so I know.
But how do we know that they didn't die from like the flu? Come on, man. Right?
I'm gonna wear it.
All right. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just trying to expand your mind a little bit.